Mystic Fam, welcome to my channel where we do all things to heal, grow, and evolve. And in this video, I want to do a vlog slash sit down with y'all type of video. I'm going to talk about how I want to manifest my life, how I manifest my desires into the 3D world, into reality, how I detach from it while still putting in that work to give it form, and just going about my everyday life from there. How not to really get attached to like the emotions, get attached to the results, because that's really what's holding our manifestations back. That's really what's slowing down the process of us seeing it manifest in the 3D world. So yeah, I'm gonna take you guys along the ride with me. Just giving you a little behind the scenes of what I do, just going about my everyday life, just doing what I normally do on a daily basis. Yeah, so as of now, I woke up not too long ago, so don't mind the scruffy look. We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta get things done around here. We still gotta put in that work, so you guys are gonna come along the ride with me. I'm starting off my day exercising. I'm doing a Pilates workout on YouTube, and this is a lot harder than it looks. Looking back at it, it looks pretty simple, but I was honestly kind of struggling with these exercises. But anyways, I want to talk about how overthinking could really hinder you being grounded in the process. Because with me especially, I overthink with just even the most simplest things. What I want to eat, if I go to a restaurant, what should I get on the menu? Just being very indecisive. And I feel like with that indecisiveness, that could really hinder you being grounded and being present in the moment, because you're overthinking about possibilities, you're overthinking about potential, about things that could happen in the future. What are the outcomes? What are the results? How can I get from point A to point B? And with that constant thinking, that constant ruminating in your mind, that could really put you in a place of desperation and despair, because I've been there plenty of times. I overthink just the simplest thing of what I should eat, and then it over time just transfers to what I'm going to do with my life. What are my goals? What are my plans? How I'm going to get there? And then just with the amount of things I want to accomplish in my life, sometimes I get overwhelmed just with the amount of things that I want to do, or just the amount of things I need to get done in a certain period of time. And with that overwhelming energy, sometimes we can just shut down and just not do anything, shut down and just do nothing. Instead of just taking it one step at a time, slowly knocking off each step we need to accomplish. And so I think that's why grounding is very important. With people like us who tend to overthink things, tend to get things in our head a lot, it's really important to be grounded, especially when you're manifesting, to truly detach from your emotions, truly detach from your negative thoughts of ruminating, of having these fears and worries about the outcomes and the results. So grounding techniques is very important for people like us who have that overthinkingness inside our mind. So I didn't really talk about that in this video, but I did want to mention about like grounding yourself, meditating, going outside, connecting to nature. I'm really focusing on your thought processes, really focusing on how you're feeling in the moment. Being very present is very important. So I've been reading this book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, and this has been really helpful for me. It has a lot of gems in here. It has a lot of really good key points on how to reprogram your mind and how to really control your subconscious and let it work for you, not let it work against you. It has a lot of good quotes, and it's really interesting because it references the Bible a lot. It has a lot of quotes from the Bible and how it talks about, even in the Bible, your subconscious mind, whatever you believe, it will come to pass. And it has a lot of good references about not just the Bible, but just any other religious affiliations, and how you use your subconscious, which is your subconscious belief, which is your faith, and how because you believe so, things will happen. And so one of my favorite things is the law of action and reaction is universal. So whatever you act upon, which is your subconscious, your reaction is automatic response of your subconscious mind. So how your body responds to your thoughts, that is your reaction. And so when I think of this, I think of like alchemy, when it talks about like your soul, your mind, and your body. I feel like your mind is your spirit. So your subconscious, your soul is your consciousness, right? Generates thoughts that goes into your mind, which is your subconscious. And whatever those thoughts are, the frequency, the energy of it, your body responds to that. And then that is what brings it into the physical, the 3D world. So like I was saying before, this one is just a quick reference from the Bible. And this talks about like whatever we believe is true and we accept it as true. It's already accomplished. It's already here. So this book has a lot of gems and I'm really taking my time. I'm just enjoying like the knowledge this book has to offer. And so, yeah. So for the longest, detachment was always something that I overcomplicated in my mind. I really felt like it was something that was hard for me to process and grasp because I just didn't know what it looked like. I know people kept saying, oh, just detach from your reality, just detach. But like, what does that mean? And then for me, I think it's just living your everyday life. For detachment, I think it's just having trust in the universe, your spirit guides, your higher self, just having trust and belief that everything that you are working on is going to come into fruition. That all that work, your achievements, your desires, you're able to achieve it, and because you believe it so, it will come to pass. But because we come up with a lot of excuses, you think it's too late for us, we're too old, we're too this and that. No. I feel like because we have those thoughts in our mind, that we subconsciously programmed ourselves to believe that that's why it's not manifesting. And also, I also talked about this on my last video about instant gratification, and because we don't see it overnight, that means it's not going to happen. But I feel like the time is also another thing that we need to detach from, because time works differently in the spirit world than it does here in the 3D. And so just because we don't see it overnight, just because I wake up and I don't have all that money that I desire, I wake up and my life isn't changed overnight, I don't think that doesn't mean that our manifestations are not coming into process. I believe that it's already here. What I desire is already mine. What I claim to be mine is already so. And because I believe that, is going to come into reality. How long it takes, that's for spirit to work out. That's their job. It's not mine. And also releasing the control of the how. How am I going to make this happen? How am I going to do this? How am I going to get the results? How this is going to come into my life? I feel like once we put our intentions in, once we already set our intentions for the manifestations, the how is spirit's job. How we're supposed to get our results is the job of the spirit. They're the ones who do all the behind the scenes work, so we're not supposed to even worry about how the how will come. We just believe that it's coming. But because that we want to be so in control of the how, the when, the time, because we want to be so in control of that, and because we don't see that in our current reality right now, we start to bring in doubt, and that's slowing down our manifestations. So detachment is just believing that spirit is working for us, our subconscious is working for us, and what we have is already here and it's already ours. Because we're putting so much energy on the how, that's their job. We don't even have to worry about that. We need to put our energy elsewhere, going about our everyday life. We need to put our energy on still doing that work and just allow the universe to do what it needs to do. So when I still say doing the work, I think that we need to give it form to manifest what we want to manifest. So if you want to start a business, we need to give it form. How are you going to start a business with no business name? Or if you have an idea, at least start writing it down somewhere to give it form to manifest into our 3D everyday life. Or if you want to have a relationship, or if you want to have a community or a friend group, giving it form is visualizing how you'd want that to happen, and then go about your everyday life and start doing things that can help the process of your manifestations come into your reality. So that type of visualizations, that's already you living in the end. So what is your life that you want to live? What does that look for you? What emotions do you feel? Who are you with? How does a typical day play out in your end game, I like to call it. So that type of visualization is you already creating that end game for yourself. And the more you create that visualization, that energy will come into the 3D reality. So yeah, set your intentions, believe that it's coming to fruition, and then just go about your everyday life. That is what I've learned detachment is. I don't think it's something that's very overcomplicated, very grandeur, very holier than thou, connecting one with spirit, aligning yourself to the highest frequency, allowing your kundalini to rise up to your crown chakra, up to the ethers. I don't think it's that complicated. I feel like at times you overcomplicate things, at least I did. Doing my best to simplify things for my manifestations to come into reality. So some things that I'm doing to detach myself but still put in a network. So gratitude is something that I've always done, and I do gratitude on a consistent basis. So gratitude is one. Journaling. I journal almost every day. Have almost every journal in the damn I have way too many journals I should be having. I do have a shadow work journal that I use often about how I feel, my mental state, my achievements, my priorities. I still use that on a daily basis, or I still use that pretty consistently. I'm actually working on another journal. The stuff that I use to help me start my spirituality, the things that I ask myself, the questions, the prompts that I created myself, I actually want to create that into a journal for you guys to help you start your spirituality journey, or start your self-awareness journey, or to help you start reflecting on your mind processes, reflecting on the way you think, being more mindful about your thought processes, your environment, the people you're around. So the things that I wrote in my journal to help me with that self-reflection and self-awareness, I want to create that into a journal. So I'm still in the process of doing it. That's in the works. I will post that whenever it's ready. So yeah, so stuff's starting to work, stuff are coming, we're still in process. So I have a journaling book. This one particular, I use this just to journal how I'm feeling, how my day went, what I experienced, what I felt. I have another journal specifically for manifesting, and then I have another journal specifically for like dreams. I have a dream journal. Then I have another journal about like my business, my plans, my content creations, writing it down for me to organize my thoughts, organize how I'm gonna go about planning things, and just trying to be more organized. So when it comes to writing out what my manifestations are, sometimes I just read out, and I read it before I go to sleep, and I read it again once I wake up. And I think it's pretty important for us to read it, especially before we go to sleep, so that we can tell our subconscious mind. So our subconscious is already working for those intentions as we're sleeping. I also think that when we do go to sleep, we actually plan to go to sleep, not just fall asleep. And then while we're sleeping, we put ourselves into a meditative state. Tell our subconscious our desires. Tell our subconscious our wants. Tell our subconscious that the things that we desire is already ours. While doing that, our subconscious is working for us. Our subconscious is bringing those things into our reality. And because you're doing this while you're sleeping, subduing the conscious mind, and you're allowing the subconscious to kick in and do what it gotta do. I usually do this method when it comes around the new moon specifically. You can just write your intentions in a journal, or what I'm doing, because it's a new moon, we have a new moon in Taurus, I made a new moon contract with myself. And so with that contract, I listed all of my desires, all of my manifestations, what I want in my life. And then I wrote those desires using the current energy of the moon. So because new moon's in Taurus, what does Taurus represent? Money, assets, values, those sorts. And going into the full moon, Scorpio, deep emotions, things you take pleasure in, stuff like that. I created the contract with my desires and my manifestations following those energies of the moon. And so what I've been doing is, ever since starting from the new moon, I get up around 3 a.m. and then I meditate. The energy is the veil is so thin during those hours between 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Energy is it's a lot more potent. Like, you're able to receive messages, you're able to receive guidance, and you're able to talk to spirit. You're able to communicate your wants and your needs a lot better, because 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. the veil is so thin. There's not as much static, there's not as much noise, it's not as busy as it is during the day. You're able to not only hear your subconscious mind better, but you're able to hear the things, you're able to get better downloads during that time. So I meditate. I think it's helpful. I think it's helpful for me to connect to myself and just hear the things that I need to do in my life, and just kind of follow those guidance and follow those downloads that I'm receiving. So this is the shadow workbook that I currently have. I created this to help myself and help other people really just build more self-awareness and reflection of their thought processes and how it's affecting them in their life. And so I use this pretty consistently. And so here I created just things I'm grateful for. I feel like gratitude is a great way to start off your day or to start off your intentions and kind of just go from there. Then I have like self-care lists, things that you do on a daily basis, how you're caring for yourself, how you're treating yourself, your eating habits. I feel like nutrition is very important because not only our mind, but I feel like our gut and our mind has a pretty strong and important connection that a lot of us don't really kind of realize. So the things we're taking into our body affects our mind and reflects how we operate. And then just being aware of your emotions, how you feel today, what caused these emotions, and your priority for today. And then I also have like a little prompt on each page, and this one just talks about like your childhood, the things you love to do, and how does that manifest. So each one has like a little different type of like a different prompt that I created. So I use this. I think it's pretty helpful. So if you want to use this for yourself, I have this on my Amazon store. So this is the most recent coloring book. I just published this about 2 or 3 days ago. So I make all of my coloring books and my journals on Canva. And so this is kind of like the images that you will see on there, like a forest theme, forest fairy, enchanted, whimsical, all those sorts of things. I wanted to create something and bring that to life. So this is the images I've created on Canva. And so I specifically wanted to use Black women as these images because you don't see a lot of them in general, not just on Amazon, but just overall. You don't really see a lot of coloring books or pages that portray Black women in a positive light specifically. So I wanted to bring that and create something for us to have that is positive, that shows beautiful portraits of Black women just being their unique selves. This coloring book is out. It's on my Amazon page, and I have the link on that below, so you can check that out. First meal of the day, I made some scrambled eggs with avocado and spinach and tomatoes in it. I would turn it into a sandwich with some sourdough bread. I feel like sourdough bread is probably one of the only breads I could eat and not feel bloated or just feel like complete shit afterwards. And I've been really trying to be more mindful of what I put into my body, especially dealing with like IBS. I've been very more aware and more just mindful of the foods that I eat, the quality, the frequency, and just the energetic vibration. And just noticing how I feel after I eat these meals, what my body is telling me, just listening to my body more, trying to make that gut and mind connection. Okay, so this is my outfit. I'm about to go to the store. I'm gonna go run to Target really quick. September month, so I need to get some certain supplies and whatnot to handle that. And I'm also going to a tennis class for the first time. I've never done tennis, but I've always been interested in it. So I saw a class on Instagram. It looked really fun. It looked pretty engaging. I think I'll have a good time. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready for that. This is my tennis outfit for the day, I guess if you want to call that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so another thought. Do y'all ever notice if you get any type of synchronicities with your menstruation when it comes to like the full moon or the new moon? I always get my period on the new moon, and then my ovulation like stages is always near the full moon time. So wondering if y'all ever have that same situation with me. So I'm not really sure exactly what it could mean, but my periods definitely do line up with the new moon. So when I know I'm on my period, I know a new moon is coming. So all right, I took my jacket off because it is hot. I was not expecting it to be this hot outside, but anyways, speaking of, earlier I mentioned IBS and healing my relationship with food. I'm gonna make a video about this and how with my binge eating tendencies, how I'm still dealing with that and what I'm doing to heal my relationship with food, be more mindful about the foods I eat, foods I put into my body, the snacking. The main thing that's really like causing me to binge eat is not even the food itself. It's more like snacking, cakes, cookies, chips, just mindless eating, mindless munching. And I'm gonna make a video about that pretty soon, about like how I deal with that and then like my experiences with it as well. So stay tuned. While I'm still in the car, let me tell you about my car playlist. I don't really know other people who like listen to the same songs I do, like conscious music, like Free Soul. I listen to Lava. I love Londrell. I like BK the Ruler a little bit of her songs here and there. So yeah, let me know what songs that you like to listen to that's more about like conscious elevation, healing, all that stuff. So yeah. Alright, snack time. This is yogurt with some chia pudding, and I added some granola and some blueberries on top. I think I may add some sweetened condensed milk as well. For some reason, the combination of like chia pudding and sweetened condensed milk together is a pretty good combination, especially if you use like pineapple or mangoes. So yeah, it's my little snack. All right, so it's actually the next day. They canceled the tennis class because it was raining really bad. All of a sudden, there was a really strong weather storm. So I didn't get to go, unfortunately. But today there is a poetry open mic session going on today, so I'm excited about that. The weather looks pretty good, so yeah, this is my outfit. Cute yellow dress representing the yellow color, the yellow theme, you know, so yeah. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Remember how you hit that real love in a 7th grade talent show? Oh. Real love. I'm searching for a real love.
Beauty is endurance. Beauty is the mother of a suckling newborn receiving nourishment from the mother's breast.
Spirit, thank you. I extend gratitude and appreciation to the divine for crafting this sacred temple of mine to live and breathe and flow in.
Sitting in the tips of your fingers or on the edge of your tongue come to life. Introduce it to colors or words, to rhythm, or just let it escape into the air, no longer held hostage by the confines of your life. Because every story, rhythm, picture, or poem, dance, or desire that sits in you, without the ability to escape, eventually it will turn in and then on itself. Until you acknowledge your ability to think outside the box and to become what most people have yet to encounter, the best version of themselves. I am a minority. I belong to a small select group of people who are aware that I'm supposed to do more than just exist. Don't you want to have the moment when you introduce people to the me I was always supposed to be? Not a flawless version of yourself, but the version of you that has risen above everything that was intended to strangle your ability to see the world in such a way that other people will stand in line to look through your eyes.
And energy transforms and it transfers, and the energy y'all give her is the energy she gonna give her. And by the time we get to you, you should be doing backflips. That's what we're doing. What? Say that. Here we go. Mom's representing our shoe.
So back to detaching from the current reality while still putting in the work and effort to reach the end goal, the end game. I think having a vision board is also an important thing to have. If you're a visual person like me, you can either visualize or you can have a vision board. Place different images or like words that resonate with you or things you're trying to manifest or bring into your reality. Coloring books in general, I make it because it's pretty fun. It's something that brings me excitement and joy. And I talked about this on my previous video about human design and me being a manifesting generator. So anything that brings me excitement and joy, I know that I am in the right path, that I am doing the right thing I need to do in my life. And so this one in particular, the coloring books just bring me joy, especially making portraits, specifically for like Black women, because you don't really see a lot of that when it comes to like coloring books, positive affirmations, something with inspiration and motivation. So I want to have an outlet or just provide something for our community of like like-minded people, for Black women to have something, to have an example of something positive. So that's just for the coloring books. And also from when it comes to like my shadow work journals, and I have an affirmation journal, and I'm still in the works of creating like a self-reflection, subconscious programming journal, something I'm still working on. I wanted to create those because journaling is something that I really do love to do. It's a passion of mine. I feel like I am the most expressive when I journal, when I write something down. That kind of helps me organize my thoughts. My thoughts are like scrambling all over the place. My thoughts are just very disorganized. So journaling helps me to like kind of put things in together, put things in a row, set things straight, and kind of just help me organize my thoughts more. Journaling has helped me in a lot of ways, not just for spirituality. I bought my first journal when I talked about my self-love journey on my very first video. That's what helped me really amp up my self-awareness about myself, my thought processes, my mind, and just be mindful about the things I thought of about myself, how I viewed myself. Journaling has helped me do that. And so I create journals, like the way I wrote in my journals, the questions I asked myself, the way I set things up in my journal, I created these the same way I would, because I use these on a daily basis. Like the shadow work journal, like I would write them out as it is, like the questions, the same format. I would just draw them out in my own personal journal and then just write that. So I wanted to give something for people who are still need some guidance, or just curious about shadow work, curious about reprogramming their mind, curious about like affirmation journals and releasing self-limiting concepts. I created those journals for people who are interested in that. So just a little backstory or whatever. Another thing about human design, not only am I a manifesting generator, but I'm also an emotional authority. And so when it comes to emotional authority, I really have to not react on my emotions. I really have to be at a neutral state before making decisions or come to any conclusions in my life. And when it comes to detaching from my reality, I become very, very emotional, because when I still look at a 3D, I still look at my current physical state. And then when I say it's not here yet, that brings out an emotion of me, an emotion of frustration, emotion of anger, of doubt, fear, anxiety. These emotions come out of me. And so me detaching from those emotions kind of helps me not become very emotional and not really look at my 3D reality and keep saying that it's not here, the results aren't here, because that's only slowing down my results. That's only slowing down the process of me being at my end, living at the end goal. So me having emotional authority, and also me being a Cancer. All right, I said it, I'm a Cancer, okay? Yes, I'm emotional. Yes, I react to my emotions, but me having to control those emotions and just be aware of why I'm feeling this way and my thought process behind that really helped me center myself and be more present in the moment and just focus on the now, and just know that my desires and my manifestations are coming regardless. But if there's anything specifically you are wanting a journal for, or a coloring book, any theme, let me know. I mean, I have a list of things that I'm interested in, or things that I'm called to do, or things that resonate with me. But if there's anything in particular you want me to talk about or discuss, create a journal for, or even a coloring book, or just anything just on YouTube in general, just let me know and we can talk about that more.